I guess what I'm really looking for is sauerkraut that is natural, whatever that is. Well, that was an interesting experience. So in their cooler they have several sauerkrauts and kimchis and things like that, and here's a Eden organic sauerkraut. Well, you ask about their sauerkrauts and if they're probiotic or something, and I really don't know. What I did learn is that they're going, well, all sauerkrauts are probiotic. Some of them have vinegar and some of them don't. So this one doesn't have any vinegar in it. I don't know if that's the difference between expensive sauerkraut and cheap. I mean, in order to make it, it had to rot, or it had to ferment, let's put it that way. So I guess it's fermented. Possibly then, is it that the sauerkraut that's made with vinegar is not fermented, it's just soaked in vinegar? Hey, why don't we go, let's do this. There's a health food store up here, and I am going to go over to this health food store and maybe do some snooping. Okay, so there I went in and talked to the herbalist health expert guy for a few minutes. Turns out what he recommends is the Eden brand of sauerkraut, and guess what? That's what I just bought at the other place. He gave me some reasons why I should be buying this particular brand, and then he also described what I didn't know was what's the difference between sauerkraut made with the vinegar and sauerkraut made without the vinegar. Sauerkraut made with the vinegar is pickling. And yeah, sure, we've made dill pickles and stuff like that at home for years. It's the fermentation version that is good for your gut. So the sauerkraut made by the fermentation method is what you want to buy, and that's what I just bought. Because when you look at the contents of the jar, it does not contain vinegar. Whereas other sauerkrauts contain vinegar, and that's the ones that are made with pickling method. Okay, so that's the sauerkraut. So in at the health food store, I bought what is labeled as Probiotics. I said I'm here because I have been doing some internet research, and apparently I will be missing a lot of probiotics in my body because I've been doing a fair amount of antibiotics in the last couple of years. Every time I have surgery, they give you antibiotics because they don't want you getting infection. I get antibiotics. So there you go. Usually it's 10 days and you take it all. A couple of times I remember the ones that I've had, you can't have any dairy products within 2 hours of it. And you can't even take your antacid pills, which I'm on. So I can't even take that within 2 hours of it. This last time, the antibiotics that I got, they didn't care when you took them. And it was only 7 days worth. They obviously were stronger. I didn't have to take them more than 7 days. And every time I took them, I got slightly nauseous within, I'm going to say 2 minutes. So I tell him that I've had all these antibiotics, and he goes, oh yeah, right on. And he goes and grabs this jar of, okay, what was it again? Probiotic. It has 45 billion different probiotics. Now, fine print is during production. So there you go. I've got my sauerkraut and I've got my probiotics. And there's 60 in there, so after I've had 60, that's 2 months. Either I'll notice something, or I'll be able to say that my probiotics are all back up and running again, I guess. Whatever.